Hey guys, welcome back. Nothing new today for you. We're just going to practice what we learned yesterday, which was our absolute value inequalities. So I've got a couple practice problems for you that I want you to run through on this video, and then you have a homework assignment, a worksheet. It involves absolute value inequalities as well as a little bit of review on absolute value equations. So that's going to be your homework for tonight. Make sure you guys get that in for me tomorrow. But first, I want to do some practice problems with you, just 3. The first one, though, that I want you to look at is we are going to go -4 times the absolute value of -3 plus x is greater than -20. So, if you remember from yesterday, you've seen ones just like this. Okay, I'd love to see you guys work through these by pausing the video and then come back and make sure you're on the right track. So why don't you do that, and then when you hit resume, I'll walk you through the steps to solve this. All right, so we're going to take the left side first. We got to get rid of the -4 that's being multiplied by the absolute value. So we're going to go ahead and divide both sides by a -4. My inverses will cancel. That leaves me with the absolute value of -3 plus x. Is now less than, we divided by a negative, so our inequality symbol flips, and then -20 divided by -4 is going to give me a +5. At this point here, remember, absolute value measures the distance from 0, so we must split it up so that we can measure both directions. So we have -3 plus x is less than 5, and we have -3 plus x is greater than -5. Solve both sides by adding 3. So we have x is less than 8, and then when we solve the other side of our inequality, we get x is greater than -2. So when we go to graph this, make sure -2 goes on the left on your number line, 8 goes on the right. We are going to have open dots, and if we're less than 8 and greater than -2, these are going to connect. So there's your first problem. Your second practice problem that I want you to take a look at is 6 times the absolute value of 2x minus 10 minus 1 is greater than or equal to 23. So a little bit more complex problem here. We now have multiplication and subtraction going on the outside, and we've got a couple operations going on inside our absolute value symbols. So why don't you go ahead, pause the video, try this one, and then when you come back, we'll walk through it. So this one, first step is we're going to add 1 to both sides. That's going to give us 6 times the absolute value of 2x minus 10 is greater than or equal to 24. Now to get rid of the 6, we're going to go ahead and divide by 6 on both sides. Our inverses will cancel, like always. Absolute value of 2x minus 10 is greater than or equal to 4. Now here we can go ahead and split it up. So we get 2x minus 10 is greater than or equal to 4. And we have 2x minus 10 is less than or equal to -4. Now as I go ahead and solve, two-step equation here, we get 2x is greater than or equal to 14. Then when I divide by 2, x is greater than or equal to 7. Here, go ahead and add 10 to both sides again. 2x is less than or equal to 6. When I divide by 2, x is less than or equal to 3. So when I go ahead and graph this one, we're going to have 3, 7, close dots because we have greater than or equal to and less than or equal to. And if x is greater than 7, that one's going to go to the right, and less than or equal to 3, that one is going to go to the left. So this one will go away from each other. All right, and last practice problem before I turn you guys loose to work on that homework. 4 minus 3 times the absolute value of x divided by 8 is less than 1. So just like always, we got to get rid of this stuff on the outside first. Multiplication, we are going to subtract the 4 first, get rid of our addition and subtraction. Inverses will cancel here, leaving us with negative 3 times the absolute value of x divided by 8 is less than negative 3. Now to get rid of the negative 3, since it's being multiplied, the inverse is to divide. Our inverses will cancel, leaving us with the absolute value of x divided by 8 is less than, is greater than, we divided by a negative, so our inequality symbol here has to flip, is greater than 1. Now we can go ahead and split this up to get our two equations. So we have x divided by 8 is greater than 1, and x divided by 8 is less than negative 1. Inverse, instead of dividing by 8, our inverse is to multiply by 8. So x is greater than 8. Multiply both sides by 8 again, and x is less than negative 8. So on our number line, we will have negative 8, we will have 8, we will have open dots. X is less than negative 8, so that goes left. X is greater than 8, that will go to the right. So hopefully this cleared up any confusion you guys have with our absolute value inequalities. You guys have that 8-question homework assignment listed on Mudge. It is listed as 5.6 review. It's in your chapter 5 folder under topics. So get that done. You may, if you're in class, I don't mind if you work with a partner. Just make sure you guys have your individual work and then turning that in for me. Alrighty, fellas, I'll talk to you tomorrow. See ya.